Hello, I'm Kelly and welcome to my Flosstube channel, Animal Instinct. It's Sunday the 23rd of June 2024 and I am back with a cross-stitching update. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you're well and are enjoying your stitching or whatever it is that you do that makes you happy. Thank you to all of my existing subscribers and welcome to anyone who's new. I have noticed that I've just crept up above 3,500 subscribers, which is just incredible. If you haven't yet subscribed and you'd like to see more of my stitching, I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel. So I'm back a little bit early this month. We're not quite to the end of the month, but I've had a few weeks off of work, which has been wonderful, and I have done lots of stitching. So I thought before I go back to work, I will do another Flosstube and get you all up to speed. It's almost like a mini WIP parade. I think I've got 10 or 11 different projects I've worked on in the last few weeks. But I also need to do my mid-year WIP parade as well. So that will probably come up in the next few weeks. What I tend to do with my mid-year WIP parade is not show you every single thing I have underway. I leave that till the end of the year, but I will show you what I've worked on from January through to June. But we're not quite there yet today, so let's go through what I have got to share with you. And we have a little friend, so I can't remember if either of the cats have made an appearance since I moved house, but I've had a few questions. My two cats, Reggie and Jemima, are very well, all settled in. Reggie's kind of seeking heat today. It's a pretty cold winter's day here in Adelaide, but I'm glad he's back to his normal spot. Maybe he'll wake up and say hello properly later. Okay, so first of all, I've got my Heartstring Samplery's Coffee Drinker's Confession. This is kind of I guess it's my travel piece. I just take it to appointments here and there, so I don't track my stitching or anything. But yeah, I just work on it as and when. I'll pop a photo in of where it was. I don't think I've actually done a whole lot since last time on this one, but this is where it is now. So I think all I've done is finish this bird. It's only a very small piece. It's on 40 count linen from XG Designs in Smoky Chimney, and it's, you know, it's not too far off a finish, but yeah, I don't work on it that often, and when I do, I don't put much time into it, so it'll get there slowly one day. Next up is Lola Cross Stitch's Deadly Aquarium, which is an active stitch along at the moment, mystery stitch along. I'm sure a lot of you are working on it. If you're not working on it, you've probably seen plenty. I think I started it in April when the frame came out, and I have managed to keep up to date. I'll pop a photo in of where I was last time, and at that stage, oh, I can't remember now. I just looked at it before. I think I had no, I can't actually remember. Anyway, there's been a few more releases since I last filmed, and I am up to date. So I'll show you the whole thing and then we'll have a closer look at the extra bits that I've done. Here it is. This is on a piece of 28 count casual linen in Jazz by Picture This Plus. And we'll come in to where all the fun stuff is. I think last time, doesn't really matter, but I think I'd done like this. Had I done the pufferfish? I can't remember, but anyway, so we've got the treasure chest with the eel, and then we've got the cutest little pufferfish, and then the fire coral, which is just beautiful, but man, you had to concentrate on the counting of your stitches You really had to be on your game to do that. I mean, I'm sure it would be fine if there's a few odd stitches here and there, but I love the colour of that. And then the most recent one, so they normally come out on a Friday night, so I usually would wake up on a Saturday to get the new release, but I think we're having a catch-up week this week, so nothing to work on this week, and I've managed to stay caught up, which I'm really happy about. Oh, now I'm gonna forget what these are all called. First of all is the cutest little stonefish, which are really quite nasty, but I love his frown. I think he's so cute. They're really easy to, they camouflage really well on the rocks, and they're easy to sort of miss, but really nasty if you do come into contact with them. And then there is, oh, I think this was some sort of kelp actually that came out with the fire coral, maybe just above the stonefish. Should have really, looked at my notes, but oh well. Then beautiful lionfish. Seen plenty of these on my diving trips. And then finally, I think this was a rabbit fish, might have had another word in its name. I'm not describing these very well today, but I've definitely seen plenty of those diving too. So one last look. I think this stitch along goes until August, so we've still got a couple of months to go, and there's plenty of space to fill up. And definitely one of my favourite things to work on at the moment. And I love seeing the update photos on Instagram, and there's a Facebook group too. So the Deadly Aquarium by Lola cross stitch. I worked on it for, I've written down 4 days since I last filmed, but I'm not sure how many stitches that was. Okay, next up is one that I haven't worked on for this year yet, until recently. It is Daryl Dixon, artwork by J Parks, and it's a Gecko Rouge kit. I'll put a photo in of the mock-up. So Daryl Dixon is a character on The Walking Dead. He looks a bit like, oh, this is so fluffy, but he does look a bit like this. It's my project bag that I made for him. I'll pop a photo in of where it was at the start of the year, because I haven't worked on it this year. And this is where I got to. So it's looking great. It's on 18 count Aida using 2 strands of thread. And I've really been working on this side to try and sort of do the background. It's kind of got that smoky, hazy background, and you can start to see one of the little zombie cats coming in here. I didn't want to finish his face and then be stuck with heaps of background, so I've kind of kept away from the face. I've worked on it for 3 days and I put in 2,150 stitches, and that's taken me to a third of the way through. I'm 33% complete. Love that one. I don't know if I've seen anyone finish this one. I started this with Joe Blueshy Stitches, like lots of my projects. Hi Joe. But I don't know if I've seen a finished version anywhere. But anyway, that's really fun to work on. Next up is Book of Shadows by Living on a Rainbow. This was one of my spooky starts in 2023, again with Joe, and really want to try and finish this one this year. So I've got a long way to go. I'll pop a photo in of where I was last time. And if I recall correctly, I had finished the gold Krynic on that, so I'm working on the cover of the book. And once I've finished the cover, I'll start on the pages, and then hopefully at some point can put it all together. But I have put quite a bit of work into sort of filling in the cover, and that's where we're up to. So the back cover, except for the missing bits, which I need to still get to, that's all Cryonic. The back cover's done. The spine just needs that strip and it will be done, and then I need to come on to the front cover. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. And I think the front cover is pretty much all one colour. You can stitch a skull here, but I'm lucky enough to have the embellishment pack, so I have a little skull cabochon to attach at the end, which will be interesting. It's on 18 count Aida. I said the wrong fabric last time. It's 18 count cream. I think I got it on cream Aida. It doesn't really matter because it's full coverage. And I just have written here that I put in 1100 stitches. So that is that one, coming along nicely. Still in the Q-snap because I'm trying to keep working, just chipping away at that cover. It's block stitching, good for TV watching. Next is just one that I touched a little bit. It's Gaia by Quaternion Creations. Put the photo in and show you where I was last time. I'd barely done anything last time. I think I started this last year. I got it from a pack of Earth Day themed patterns that was released with money going towards to charity. And I plan to slowly stitch a pile of these and maybe do something like this, but a smaller version eventually, but that's a long way away. So this is where I've got to. I just spent one day on it, and it's on 16 count Aida in Petals by Picture This Plus. And I'll show you the thread in just a second, but I think I finished the globe, and then this is kind of her chest, I guess. So just one day and about 300 stitches. And this is the thread. It's Cottage Garden thread, and it's Lyrebird Walk, and it's just beautiful teals into that blue. Next up is Sunny Beach by MiyaXStitch. I started this one ages ago too. I can't remember when, a few years ago now at least, and I haven't done much. I'll pop the photo in of the design, and it's a bit different. So it's full coverage. It's a bit different to my other full coverage in that it's not very detailed, but there's a boat in the foreground that's backstitched, and that will be in more detail, if that makes sense. I'm really looking forward to getting to that, but I'm way, way off of it. I'll pop a photo in of where I was. And I have actually done quite a lot on this one. So I worked on it for 3 days, and I actually added about 3,000 stitches. So this is the like the rocky cliffs of the islands, and then you've got this beautiful cloudy blue sky coming in. I think this is about halfway, and so same maybe here. So, and I'm about a quarter of the way through. So the detail, it's not like other sort of really detailed full coverage, but that won't matter because your eye will be drawn to the boat in the foreground. So, and it's on 16 count Aida, which is also different for me for a full coverage. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And that sky is just going to look stunning. Actually, it does look better from further back. That's coming along nicely. I possibly say that after everyone, I'm not sure. Ooh, next one. Firefly. Firefly is my largest project. It's like Daryl Dixon, artwork by J Parks, and it's a Gecko Rouge kit. I have sadly neglected this project this year and I don't really know why, but I have finally worked on it again this month. Only like, I think it was 500 stitches, so hardly anything, one day. But pretty excited to show you what I have done. I'm not going to worry about a before picture. Well, I'll pop a before picture of like the whole piece, or at least the cats. I'm not working on the cats this year. My aim was to work on the background. So let me just show you where it's at and then I can explain. So it's on 25 count Lugana. I was probably like here last time, so I've added this. The really exciting part about this is I started this piece, which is enormous, in the middle. I worked down to the bottom and then up to the top. So the middle kind of strip is complete top to bottom. And then I've started working across. And I've actually reached the top left border. That is the first page of the pattern. It's all background up here, and I'm doing background using 2 strands of thread and 10 stitch. And the cats I'm doing 1/1 full cross. So I've just worked the navy. There's like, I think there's fewer than 100,000 stitches of navy to go. But I'm really pleased to have gotten that far, and you can see there's thread there, it's a needle all ready to go to carry on. Haven't quite worked out my plan of attack, but I would love to get work on this kind of strip across here. The first page finishes here, so I've gridded it with sulky sliver, the metallic thread. Just gridded the pages for reference. So this is the first page. I'm not sure if I'll stitch down to here or if I'll just kind of stay do a strip across. I'm not really sure. But finally, it's come out for the first time since January, I think. One of the problems is it's big and heavy, and I've got the back rolled up like that. And so it doesn't sit on my Lowry stand comfortably. It kind of sags a bit, so I don't use it with the Lowry. I do have another beautiful stand, one of Gus's stands, which got kind of dismantled when I moved house, and I haven't put it back together again. So that might be one of the problems, because it sits nicely on that stand. I haven't been using it, so I literally just have it on my knee, propped up on my knee, because I like to stitch two-handed if I can. So I think part of the problem is that I haven't quite found the right way to stitch. I think I need to get my Gus's stand put back together. So yay, finally! Snuggly boy. Okay, a few more. Next one is my Welsh castle, which I've forgotten how to pronounce again, but it's this one. This was a gift from my mum when she went to the UK a while ago now. It's by Cambriana Designs. And I have worked on this earlier this year, and I'll pop a photo of where it was. It's on 16 count Ivory Ada. And I've made quite a lot of progress actually on this one. In fact, the pattern is 2 pages, and I think I've finished the first page now. Yeah, I think it looks like I'm about just over halfway through. So this is where it is. It's looking fantastic. And yeah, 2 days and about 1,400 stitches. It looks like I've still got to do some, I have tried to do back stitching kind of as I go. Once I do a section, I just realized I need to back stitch around these posts. But yeah, the shading, I mean, it's a pretty simple pattern, but the shading is very effective, and you can really see the sort of stonework in the castle. It's really nice. There's some swans coming up down here in the moat. Yeah, that's been quite nice to work on. Almost there. Next one is one I haven't worked on in ages. This is a piece that I started for my 40th birthday. I turned 40 in February 2021. Yeah. So it's been a few years. And I think I only worked on it for a day or two back then, and I don't think I've touched it since. It's by Mandarinks Designs, and it's the Cheshire cat. I'll pop a photo in of where it was before. And I had a really good stitchy day on this one recently, just one day where I got about 1,000 stitches. Like I said, I've been off work and I've stitched, I just feel like my stitching mojo is back. I've stitched a lot and really loved it. I'm hoping it'll continue because I started a new job in October, and I'm commuting a lot more. I tend to go into the office every day. It's a decent drive, whereas my old job, I was at home most of the time. So my days are much longer, and as well as having less time for stitching, I'm also like tired. But I feel like hopefully I can take this feeling I have at the moment into going back to work and getting back into a normal stitching routine too. So it's the Cheshire cat. As you can see, I've been working on his tail, which is really fun with those bright pink stripes. It's on a piece of 32 count even weave from Sold All Australia in Rainbow Ocean. And it's kind of a funny piece of fabric. It's the whole thing. So this side is this kind of darker colours, but I thought it would be fun to try and incorporate like the most colourful corner, which I think I've picked wisely. So I've got a bit of purple, the darker blues, some greeny bits and yellow. So yeah, I'm now at 20%, but there is a lot of back stitching, I'm pretty sure, on this one once I've finished the stitching. Okay. Next is, it's another one I started, one of the spooky stitching starts from last year with Jo, where she stitches, and I finished a couple of these. I think between 2022 and 23 we got like 15 or something. Spooky starts that we started in October of each year. And I finished a couple this year. Finished The Haunted Library by Lola cross stitch, and I finished Welcome Foolish Mortals by the Witchy Stitcher. This might be the third finish. I've just pulled this one out the last few days, and it's beautiful to stitch. It's really easy because it's like it's mainly half stitches. There are some full crosses, and then you've just got to take care with if it's one or two strands. But there is a lot of back stitching involved. So this is, I'm never quite sure of what it's called, City Cat Silhouette, something like that. It's by MiyaXStitch, and we saw Deb Wilson's beautiful finish of this, and that's what inspired us to stitch it. So I've worked on this one. I'll pop photos in what it's going to look like. Hopefully you can appreciate the back stitching that's coming. And where it was last time, I hadn't worked on it this year, but I have pulled it out for the last 3 days. Actually, I was stitching on it last night, and I was so close to finishing the cross stitches and the half stitches, but I think I had 100 left, and I just couldn't stay up any later. So I had a very late night, and I just couldn't quite get there. So when I got up this morning, I actually finished the that little bit. So it's now, all the crosses and half crosses are done, and I just have back stitch to go. So it's pretty subtle. It's on 32 count linen in marbled terracotta by XDew Designs. It's not showing that well. It's a bit darker than what it's showing, but it's all it's all pretty much solidly stitched except for bits here. You can see the couple, the lamp post, and this is like the city scene, but it's an outline of a cat. And I just finished this black down here this morning. So now I have quite a bit of back stitching ahead of me, but I think this should be a finish this year. Well, that's a little bit better maybe. Looks like the sun's appeared. I've got both cats on the windowsill just over there now, trying to sunbake and soak up some of that nice warmth. Okay, last bit of cross stitching. I had a goal this year to avoid unplanned new starts, and I finally caved. This is the first one. Don't know if it's going to be the last, but I'm happy, I'm fine with it. I just really needed a new start in this sort of break that I've had. And actually I didn't know what to start. I just felt like I needed to start something. And I went looking on all the different, you know, Etsy and the full coverage sites, and I wanted a full coverage, I knew that. I actually found a really, really nice Head, Heaven and Earth Designs piece, and I bought the pattern, but then changed my mind and didn't start that one. Long story short, I have actually started one of my existing Gecko Rouge kits that I've had in my collection for a few years now. And I just think it's amazing. It's by Erode Art. It's the same artist who designed the Storytime piece that I stitched, oh gosh, a few years back now, it's like the silhouette of the girl reading on the rock. So same artist, I think he's Korean, South Korean I think, and I actually found a video on YouTube of him painting this piece, so that was amazing to watch. It's called Go Home, and it's this one. I just think it's absolutely stunning. It's darker than, like the night sky is dark, whereas that's fairly light. With that big moon in the background, and again, it's the silhouette, the man and his dog, and it's kind of like that urban setting as well with the power lines, but also nature as well. And just that sky is incredible. So that's my new start. I've worked on it for 3 days. And I've done about 1,700 stitches, and I'm at a whopping 1.5%. I'm stitching it on 25 count Lugana, the one that I can never remember the name of, the pre-gridded one. And this is my start. So beautiful blues is going to be a lot of blues. And I tend to do a little up arrow at the top left of my piece when I start, just so there's no possibility that I'll mess up orientation or forget where I'm at. So that is my new start. And I am absolutely fine with that. I just have one more bit of craft to share, and it's something I haven't shown in ages because I haven't worked on it in ages. But I'm doing a Sashiko, it's like the blocks got sent to you every couple of months, and eventually I've now got everything I need to stitch it and then turn it into a quilt. It's pretty ambitious, but slowly. So I've actually done a couple more of the stitching blocks. I've done this one. These need wash and an iron, but what they do, they package them up into monthly sections, and you get 3 pieces to stitch per month. And then there's instructions on how to put them together, and there's extra fabric and stuff, how to put them together into a little, like a bigger block with them joined or pieced together, whatever. I can't think of my words this morning. And so what I'm trying to do is stitch the 3 pieces, then wash them all together and iron them, and then put them together before I move on to the next month. I've done the first month, and I've started the second. That kind of got put away in my move, but I've got everything together now, and I actually want to unpick one of the blocks I stitched in the second month, because I was stitching that in a period earlier last year when I was a bit stressed, and it's a bit too tight and puckered. So I'm going to take out all of that and do it again, nice and calm and relaxed, so there will be no puckering. So I've jumped ahead to month 3. That's the first one. I've also finished the second one, which is really quite beautiful. And yeah, you're just following the lines. It's so easy and relaxing. That is the second one. And I've made a start on the third one, which is quite intricate. I guess I haven't done many curved lines previously, but I've just started. So I've just done that top row, and it's really beautiful. And you can see how big the needle, the needle is very different to cross stitch. It's a weapon, but it goes through airport security. You can stitch this on plane, no problem. That last block is more time consuming than the others, so I'm not sure when I'll get that one done, but I'll be sure to share my progress when I do. So that's everything from me today. I think next up will be my mid-year WIP Parade. That feels like a WIP Parade just then, but I do have more projects I've worked on and a few finishes as well to share, so look out for that in the next few weeks, I think. I think that's pretty much it. So until next time, happy stitching. See ya.